Welcome to Line Trading, going over today's SPY recap and live analysis. Let me first start off by saying though, what a crazy day. So much to go over within the chart here. You may have been trapped here in the morning as well as here to the downside, and I'm going to explain what you had to do differently and why this move right here was possible, this retracement, how we grabbed this liquidity, regained this 5-day moving average, and were able to hit this 20-day moving average as the final target. But first thing in the morning, I explained in the pre-market brief for Discord members to be paying attention to the 5-day moving average as well as this possible tapering right here. And if we wanted to form an inverse cup, watch for us to grab this shoulder of liquidity to the downside. We needed to lose that 5-day, which we did in the morning. Now from there, you see how we start to break out of this green algorithm that I mentioned. And you see that we closed this inverse cup right here at yesterday's lows, and we are unable to form any sort of support and recover from there. And on the microstructure, which we will go over, we formed more resistance and got this inverse cup to the downside right here. Now, as I explained here, we can continue to close this cup, but you have to be paying attention for this shoulder right here, and if we do not form it, then we do not have to break down out of this level. So you needed to see that resistance below 539.50, or you needed to see us start to form this handle right here, even if it took a bit more time and it was up here, but we never saw that. And you will see how there was not a single reason to be shorting this on the entire way up on the microstructure. So now here on the 1-minute chart, going over the microstructure and algorithms. First thing off the open, we instantly saw aggressive sellers, and you can see within this orange algorithm right here and this white right there as well. But I explained that you would need to see us lose that 5-day moving average. So if you did not take any trade right here quite yet because of the weak structure, that is fine. You could have taken it off this white algorithm, but if you waited, I explained to be looking for this head and shoulder right here off of that 5-day moving average, and from there we could continue to see that selling, which we do within this yellow right here and with the white. So there are entries on the way down, not a ton of structure, but you can see how this white algorithm continues to bring us down, as well as the orange within here as well from the morning being that aggressive selling. So after this last head and shoulder to the downside right here, I explained you had to be paying attention to the bottom Bollinger, which was just at the level below, being this 539.80, and you could see some sort of tapering right here. And if there was going to be a reversal, pay attention to this starting to form, and you see how we form that inverse head and shoulder. There's that cup and handle, and we continue to grab liquidity to the upside right here that I also explained you had to be paying attention to on the way up. And the only way that you could start to short this is if we formed this head and shoulder to the downside right here. Same thing right here. If you're looking to short this, well, you need to see this head and shoulder, you need to see that inverse cup close, and from there a structure in order to do so. Otherwise, we do not have to head back down, and we remain within this white algorithm throughout the entire day, which you can see right here, along with blue and yellow controlling the selling on the way up, leaving us with plenty of entries, which we are going to talk about and get to here in just a minute. Now here at 10:37, once we were not seeing this breaking down right here, we were not forming that handle, I explained that you had to be paying attention to the 30-minute chart and what could begin to form right here. You see how we have this liquidity now back to the upside, and we have this 5-day moving average right here. And if we are able to get back above this level right here and regain that 5-day moving average, well, then we are absolutely able to start filling this larger cup back to the upside. And you see how we have that larger head right there. And with this move, we grab this liquidity right here. Now, as I was talking about with the blue and yellow controlled selling on the way up right here, you see how we form these inverse head and shoulders, right? Once again, blue and yellow controlled selling right here as well. We see how this continues to form right here with the blue and yellow. Once again, another inverse head and shoulder right there. Same thing right here. Right here, we closed the cup back up at this 549 from where we opened today. And I explained once again, right, to be looking for that handle and you see how we form it right here. And from there, we get this continuation. So once again, another trade you could have taken. And once again, as we get above this 549 level right here with this inverse head and shoulder, we continue to see the blue and yellow in control throughout the rest of the day, and we are unable to ever form anything back to the downside, like I mentioned earlier with the structure below. But same thing goes right here, right? We never form anything to the downside. Even that inverse cup right here, you never see this handle, and then this larger one and the continuation for the dump. We just continue moving higher within the blue and yellow controlled selling right here. Once again, towards the end of the day, this blue and yellow controlled selling once again, and that final push to this 20-day moving average. Now, while the microstructure looked like that, I explained on the 30-minute chart that you had to be paying attention to these levels. The first one being that 550.03 right here. And once we reached that target, I explained you had to be then paying attention to this level right here, which we were able to get above, and then finally towards 553, all of which we were able to grab this liquidity and did not continue moving down, right? So it could have changed at those levels, but you would have need to seen the structure with it, which we never did. And instead, we were able to continue pushing higher, grabbing that liquidity, ultimately to that 20-day moving average. And from there, like I explained, which will be into tomorrow, but this handle right here to continue above it, and we can continue closing this cup right here if we wish to. So last thing that I want to talk about before going over what to be watching tomorrow, as I was explaining today in the chat with me taking SPX, I took my usual SPY trades on the way down in the morning for puts, but towards 11:40 right here, I started to see that we could possibly start to move back up and close this cup right here. So I took some SPX contracts for lottos and I closed them out around this cup right here at 1312. And then I once again took some more SPX at the end of the day for this push to the 20-day moving average. I took them off of this inverse head and shoulder for around $10 per contract, and within just a few minutes, they were already up to $70. Now they ended up going for $300 per contract, but I sold them a bit too early, which is all good. It was towards the last few minutes of the day, just taking that quick 700% and calling it a day, which was a great one for me personally. So plenty of trades that you could have taken today, a lot of profit to be made as well if you understood the concepts and the structure of the chart right here, understanding what we have gone over with the moving averages and liquidity. But now it is time to go over what to be watching tomorrow and where we can go from here. So as I was explaining with this 20-day moving average now, we can look for us to form some support on it and continue moving higher from there. This next level will be this 555 right here, which has been that previous support. We turned it to resistance and have been selling off ever since. So watch for that cup right here that closes and that handle. And then from there, we can continue moving higher and ultimately looking to fill the cup back up at this level right here. And then we will want to see that handle once again with the blue and yellow controlled selling right here. Now, if we cannot get back above this 555 level right here or the 20-day moving average, we can still head down from here, right? There is no bias. Just because all these green candles does not mean we have to continue. We absolutely can, right? Like we talked about with this handle right there and above that 555. But you see here on the daily, we have a similar move up to that 20, and then from there we get that rejection once again. We need to see this 5 cross back above that 20, and from there the uptrend will be a lot healthier. We did get this bottom Bollinger test right there, which we are looking for, and if we regain this 20-day moving average, like I explained, can close that cup back up to this level and start to see this upper Bollinger become a target. Now, what you will need to see in the case that that does happen is this 20-day moving average needs to become resistance, and from there, you need to start to see that shoulder once again if we were to head down and get back below this 5-day moving average as well. So now here on the daily chart, right, we had the chance to break below this level with this handle right here that we were looking to form, and it was unable to. We're not seeing that continuation. So we do need to see us lose that 5-day moving average once again. And if we do not, well, you can be looking for this inverse headed shoulder. You also have this larger one that is starting to form right here as well as that cup and possible handle that we can see starting to form right here as well. That will wrap up the video for today though, so thank you everyone for watching, and I will see members in the morning.